Hi, good morning and hello my dear students. How are you all today? Hope you all are doing good, staying strong, fighting this pandemic at home, yeah? Okay, I'm teacher Shameela from SMK Gurun, Kedah. Today, you will be with me for the next 40 minutes as I take through my session, yeah? Before I roll on, I'm taking this opportunity to thank SSTP Kedah for giving this wonderful, unique experience of meeting you all online. Okay, let's move on. The title for today's presentation. Now, students, you can leave your comments down there so I can read up your comments. Okay, so that I know you are with me, yeah? Okay, stories and senses. What do you think of the words here? I can see some comments, yeah? Yes, some of you got it right. It is about writing, okay? So when I talk about writing, it links to essays, okay? So in your SPM question, paper 1, section B, which carries 50 marks, you have 5 questions, yeah? So I'm picking on these 2 special essays, stories, as in academic terms, they are called narratives, and senses. You use senses to describe, okay? So we'll be looking at descriptive essays. So to help you, I'm going to be using these 2 icons. Can you look at them? One is film reel and the other one is your 5 senses, okay? Because stories are narratives, senses are used for descriptive. Okay, yeah? If I'm too fast, I hope you can re-watch, don't worry, yeah? Why I'm picking on essays? Because the bulk of the mark, okay, highest score. And if you score well for your essays, I'm going to try my best to help you to improve your overall grade for your English paper, okay? Okay, before I move on, yeah, I want you to look at these few words I've picked up. Okay, organized, paragraphs, well-linked, unity. All these in one color because they are positive. These are what you need in your essays. So each paragraph will have points and the points must be well organized and well linked. It should be moving in a proper line, A to Z. Okay, if you mix up there, it's going to be disturbing your mark bands. Okay, so next we also have the word limited, unsatisfactory in red. The color defines it actually. So we'll be looking at why I've picked this. Okay. If you see the first column, okay, paragraphs have unity, well linked, and all this. Even if you read through these phrases, it's looking at something positive. Why? Because it's actually phrases from the excellent mark band, your A band, where it carries 44 to 50 marks. Yeah, if you can score this and I can help you to this, I'll be glad. Okay, you must believe in yourself. Okay, don't give up. We have time. Okay, let's look at the next column where we have the word disorganized, not organized. Okay, vocabulary is simple and limited. Okay, I'm going to be trying to help there as well. And paragraphs may not be used because students think narrative and descriptive is just about writing in one big flow. It's okay. Now we will be correcting that, yeah, so that you don't make these mistakes again. And actually, this is for unsatisfactory band where you score 20 to 25 marks. I'm not going to be looking at below 20 because that's not the point of this session. Yeah, we're going to be trying to help you score better grades. Why did I choose narratives and descriptives? Because the points come from you yourself. You can write through your experiences, your memories. So I'm going to push you to think about these points and show it in your writing. Okay, I hope you all are with me. Let's move on. Okay, first part of this session. Okay, we have stories. For me, stories are actually movies. Movies are actually stories in action. So it all starts when you write a story, when you put action, it becomes movies. Here, I'm using this icon. It's a film reel so that you stay connected through all my narrative sessions. These are some of my favorite movies. You can think of your movies as well so that you can refer the setting, the characters to make your essays interesting. Okay, let's move on. So welcome to narrative writing. As I discussed earlier, unity, paragraphs, well linked. Okay, don't think of them as big words. I have come up with a simple acronym and formula so that you don't lose your track when you are writing your essays. You will have a beginning and you will have an ending through this formula. Okay, are you ready to look at the formula? Please leave your comments, and dear students, people can read all of your comments. Please be polite, thank you. Okay, the formula is I story. Simple, story writing, formula I story. Actually, I had this idea from my students back in Kuala Kangsar. Okay, they used to come to me, teacher, I want to story. Of course, it's direct translation, but the phrase was very catchy for me. So I was thinking, maybe I can use this and change it into something useful. So I have this formula. So I'm going to be looking at all the 6 alphabets as 6 paragraphs. I story, I-S-T-O-R-Y. Okay, so each alphabet has its roles, okay, to help you track your essay. I'll be looking at I right now. I is always introduce, okay, nothing to do yourself, yeah? You introduce your characters, setting, situation, all according to the question given. You must always analyze your essay question before you start, dear students, okay? So I suggest, as you go through this formula, practice using this formula, and then time yourself, say about 2 to 5 minutes before you start your essay. So you draft it out. You might have used drafts before this, but this is just a proper draft, so you have a backbone, yeah? So I is about introducing characters, setting and situation. Remember in Bollywood movies, they have the hero coming in with music, his cars, or the heroine with flying hair. So that's the introduction. So whatever movie scenes you have in your mind, put it in your words. Okay, you have to give a great, interesting introduction. Yeah. So I'm moving on to S from the formula. It's something new. You see, when you have introduction, the life of the character, or maybe a hero or heroine, I call it as a movie, yeah? So they move in a daily routine. When you introduce something new, only then the line of the story will pick up. Okay, you have to do it. If you realize in most of the movies you watch, there will be something suddenly introduced new something in the life. You go to school, you come back, you eat, you sleep. Now, the next day, maybe something interesting. Suddenly you saw a bag of cash on your way to school. There's a new student in your school. Fine, you put in all these elements. Yeah, something new must be there. Okay? Again, you must go through your questions when you are doing your frame. Okay? Thank you. Now we are moving on to T. T is trouble. What is the connection between new and T, trouble? That new must cause a change so that your story will become interesting. You see, you start from a straight line, you go up, you stay. Okay? So only then the reader will find it interesting and move through your story with you. So usually it's issue, conflict, developing, growing there. Okay, next you have O. Let's look at that. It's optimum. I call it optimum, where it is the climax. You go up, you stay at the peak, where you reveal all the secrets, the best parts of the story. In most movies, this is where they show who is the bad guy, who is the actual villain, and you go like, oh my god, it's that girl. Oh my god, it's that man, he's actually a spy. You go on, okay? So, I like this part, keep all your surprises here, and you go boom, Okay, so hopefully this frame will help you. So your optimum will definitely have a reaction, okay? That is where you have R, okay? R, yeah? Reactions. Every actions have their reaction. Same. Whatever happens in the optimum part, it will leave an effect for the reaction. So you must make sure it's well linked. Again, all this will only take place if you analyze your question. You must write your I story formula according to your questions, yeah? So be careful of what you're choosing there. And finally, all this reaction will leave something on you too, where you have your why, your hopes and resolutions. Okay, somehow after the optimum causes a reaction, the reaction will leave a value or a lesson for you to think about. So that's how you finish your stories, okay? In all movies, after watching a movie, you come back and you discuss with your friends, yeah? You do that, isn't it? You say, oh my God, I realized through her, I think I've done this, I've done that. Same. So when you go through your formula again, all these elements must be there. It's just a backbone, yeah? So I summarize the formula again. I story for narrative writing. I-S-T-O-R-Y. 6 alphabets, 6 paragraphs. Please, dear students, if you're thinking, can I write more than this? Of course, you are more than welcome to do so, okay? What I'm giving here is just the basic. Even if you have more paragraphs, more than 6, it must be falling on this storyline, yeah, your backbone, so that it will be easier for you to control your flow and hopefully get higher bands, okay? So this is just a diagram form. I'm just asking you to look at the lines, yeah? The line going from straight line, rising action, climax, falling action, slow down. Okay, so this is always in diagram, so that's why I have changed it in formula, okay? Okay, again, we are still with the movie making, narrative writing, yeah? Okay, before you go on, we are going to apply the formula. I'm asking you to think about this, your point of view. Look at the picture. You can actually be the cat or the mouse. So your view, your point of view is determined from your question. Again, yeah, we have been talking about analyzing your questions, okay? So from there, you set your point of view. And yes, narratives, you have 2 things. Before I go on, 2 things. If you are given the ending line, you cannot write anything after the ending line. And if it is a beginning line given to you, you are not supposed to write anything before the line. Okay? So you analyze again, make sure you know which is the point of view for you. Okay? Come on, let's move on. This is another clue. If you think of movies, narratives, they are actually series of pictures. Yeah, we have different parts of development in your stories. These are just some pictures. Okay, one is about a cat trying to catch a mouse, and this one, a man who loses his hat to the bunch of monkeys. So what happens from the beginning, middle, developing, and ending? That is narrative writing. Okay. Okay. Now, samples of past year questions. Of course, whatever we are learning today, it's going to be applied in real life situations, and that situation for you is SPM. Okay, so I've got a few questions from 2019, 18, and 17. These are narratives. If you go through questions, you will see them. Yeah. So I'm taking question from SPM 2019. Don't worry about being predictable about stories, because it can be mixture of everything. And don't worry as well, because as I say, the points are going to be coming from you. You can generate the ideas. Believe in that. Okay, so you use your formula, create up your draft, you will be okay by God's grace. Yeah. Okay. Now, when I say of discussion of questions, please don't do this. Okay, don't do step 3. Stay with me. I'm just going to be taking another few minutes. Okay, so let's look at your question. Write a story about 2 people who had an argument because one of them had lost a mobile phone. End your story with, and they both realized how foolish they had been. So it's an ending, 2 people, argument, mobile phone. These are your keywords. Okay, you take them and you're going to apply your I story. Okay, so I, introduction, yeah. So you can choose your characters. It's all up to you. You are the director now. You are the movie maker. You are the storyteller. You decide. So I'm sticking with best friends because right now I miss my best friends a lot. We haven't been meeting and all that. Yeah. So you introduce them. Create a personality for each of them. One is quiet. One is talkative. Make them interesting. Okay. Then after I, we are moving to S. Something new. So something new, 2 best friends having a meal, and then suddenly new. They realized, one of them realized the mobile phone is missing while having their food, okay? So next, it comes to trouble, T, remember? So that missing of the phone creates a trouble. What is the trouble? Remember the argument from your question? So the owners remembered, I did see you using my phone just now. You wanted to borrow it to text to somebody. So accusing, argument comes in. This is something which doesn't happen in daily life, isn't it? As I talked earlier, yeah. So they started to argue. You see the development, yeah, the new and the trouble connection. So what do you think will happen in the optimum? What do you think will happen in the best part? If this is my optimum. You can change it as whatever you like, okay? So here, suddenly the phone rings from inside a garbage bin. He or she had mistakenly, while they were eating, enjoying, packed up his mobile phone and threw it away into the bin, okay? So without realizing. So once you realize that, it's going to be funny, okay? Your reactions can be funny, hysterical. Let's find out. So for here I put embarrassed, silly. When you start feeling silly, you start laughing, yeah? With your best friends, you can take jokes, okay? And then of course you start to ask sorry, apologize, okay? For making such silly mistakes, okay? So all this from the trouble, optimum, reaction, you're going to your resolutions, your hopes. What do you think you need to do? Okay, see? You put a reminder to yourself to be more careful so that you can avoid all this. Remember, your best friends. What if it happens with a group of strangers? You're eating alone. So you're going to write on all that. And remember, this was given with an ending line. So you have to put, they both realized how foolish they had been. Okay, so this is how I story is used as a formula for your narrative writing. Okay, this is just a summary. When you have the time, you can rewatch and look at it as a full, bigger picture of your draft. Okay, your question, your ending line, I story in action. Okay, that's for your narrative. Now, I just want to ask you, which alphabet of the English language can be drunk and served to guess? You can leave your answers in your comments below. Let's see if you got it right, yeah? Okay, take a break for a second. Just 1 second. Okay, moving on to our next part of our session. Stories, done. Narratives, I story, fine. Now we are moving to the second part of the session where I talked about senses, described, descriptive. Okay, why senses? Because they make your essays alive. Because you are sharing your real life experiences, yeah? You have smelled this, you have tasted that, you have seen this. Yes, people like reading all these beautiful words when you describe. If I say, don't imagine a pink elephant dancing with a lion in a purple skirt. Do you have the lion and elephant in your mind? I'm sure. If you don't have, I'm worried, okay? So the power of imagination with words. The words really can create images. This is what we're going to be trying to help you to write beautiful descriptive essays. Okay. All right. Let's move on. This is the icon you have to follow when we are discussing descriptive essays. Okay. Let's move on. I start with a census form for you, where I've applied all the senses in words. The idea is, can you guess what am I trying to talk about? Okay, first line. I can see the expensive price tags on them. I can hear people rushing excitedly to buy them. Something expensive, but people still rush to buy them. I can smell them even from afar. The smell, it's there before you can see them, yeah? I can taste the rich, creamy, delicious flesh in my mouth. Okay, maybe some of you can leave your comments. I can see. And the last line, I can feel the thorny skin when I touch them. There you go. I know I can see some of your comments. Yes, it's the king of fruits, okay, durians. People love them, don't they? I cannot stand a durian, okay? Yeah, I'm missing out the best fun in my life, my mom says. Okay, so if you love durians, yay. Okay, let's move on. So you can see how I have used the senses using adjectives, but I never mentioned the word durian anyway. Okay, so this is how you're going to be applying for your descriptive essays. Okay, come on. So hi, say welcome to descriptive writing. Okay, when I say describe, as usual, for your questions, they have three main categories where they ask you about people, events, places, PEP, okay, for you to remember. So from here, you need to tell. Don't tell me the flower is beautiful in one line. You're going to show me the flower is beautiful by using the words which are adjectives. Adjectives are very powerful, yeah? I'm going to be sharing how you can collect all your nice adjectives to help you, okay? Again, as we know, narratives, I story. For descriptives, I have the formula do des that d. Do des that d. Do des that d. It will take a while, but I'm sure with practice you're going to be doing that, okay? So I'll be very quick here. Do or da from the word double, okay? You can put number 2, anything. You can make changes for you to remember easily, okay? So it's actually double intro. Double intro, why? The topic in general and the topic in specific. Where do you get this? From your questions. Always analyze your questions before you come to your formula so that you don't run away or fall far from your track, yeah? So you introduce your topic in general and your view. Next, we are moving to design. This is very interesting because you analyze and you set what you want to write. It's like a fashion designer. You have the cloth and you're going to be taking the orders from your question. Actually, your customer is your question, and you're going to cut through your cloth to make a beautiful dress or garment, okay? So again, you have to analyze your questions. Next, we have details. When you have your design for your cloth, as in your questions flow, you're going to put details. If you are a fashion designer, you want to use buttons or zips or ribbons to make your dress more interesting. So for here, I'm going to talk about show, don't tell method. Show, don't tell method, okay? Use of adjectives. I'll be looking at these, yeah? Then finally, you decide. You have to finish your essay, right? And you decide whether you want to give it a positive conclusion or a negative conclusion. So it depends again to the questions, and you set your ending, okay? So let's move on. The icon is still there. As I promised, we'll look into the show, don't tell method. I'm not going to be reading all this. You can do that when you have this. But it's about sensory language. Just think of the durian. Whatever I taught, I never used the word durian, but you still managed to guess. Same here. You want your readers to be engaged and feel the way you have been writing. Okay, so of course you have to write full sentences, so don't look like that to me. Yes, writing is all about, when you are talking about higher grades, better grades, we are looking at full complete sentences. Thank you. Okay, please share whatever you feel, comments here. Okay, I'm giving you the first. John was sad. Of course, you understand. John said, okay, he's not happy. But you're missing out how he became sad, what is his reaction when he's sad. All these are very important for your descriptive essays. Okay, so I'm looking at this. These are two samples. An ache started deep in his stomach. He turned away as his eyes welled up with tears. He couldn't believe that his mother is no more. So here, can you see what is actually causing his sadness? His mom has passed away, and the way he's reacting. It can be different. You can write in a different way. This, he couldn't talk, and he felt tears wetting his both cheeks. He couldn't believe that his mother has passed away. Another reaction. Some people tend to be quiet, no reactions. It's all you. As I said, the points are coming from you. You decide what you want to write and share with us, the readers, okay? So I've put another sample. Bella was excited to see her dad. Fine, she's excited. Dad, why? Maybe she misses him. One sample, first sample. She saw her father entering the living room. She sprinted across the room like a gazelle and jumped into his arm and hugged him tight. Look at the excitement she's showing, compared to the first sentence. Yeah, excited, yeah, we understood. But how? Show me, don't tell. Okay. Next example. Living room, I'm changing to garden, variety. Coming into their garden, Bella ran as fast as she could. She didn't stop until she held his hands and hugged him tightly. You see, when a daughter misses her father, you feel this based on your experience again, okay, your memories. Okay, so teacher, but these are too many words. How do I find all these words? Fine. You see, you put in that little extra effort, you will be rewarded by God's grace. Yeah. So as I said, people, places, events, there are so many words you can use. Okay, how to go about this? There are loads of them on the internet. While you are chatting, with your friends, when you're Facebooking, why not spend few minutes, look up for these words. Okay, and these are samples. I'm not going to ask you to read, and okay, I'm just showing the samples. Okay, I like this list of emotions where you change the simple happy, bad, sad words using different kinds of adjective. There are loads of them, yeah? So put a good use of your internet connection, okay? Teacher, but where to write? I cannot remember all this. Fine. Okay, I know you'll be asking. So try making a mini book from a single piece of A4 paper. Teacher, I've never done this. Fine. I still have a sample. Now, you must enjoy this process, and in the end you think of this way, you're going to score for better grades. Keep that going. Do it for your parents, do it for your family. I hope by God's grace you'll do this. Okay, so this is very simple, interesting, and the best place to have all these mini books is a shoebox. I put them in my shoebox. Yeah, different colored papers for different topics. It's up to you, because you can use your creativity. You can use for other subjects as well. You're most welcomed. Okay, so just to help you organize your knowledge. Okay, and finally you can share, exchange different topics with your friends. I know you're supposed to be staying at home, so be careful about that. Okay, so samples, where to get them? You can actually go through Pinterest, okay, and YouTube for the making of the book. There are loads. I'm sure you will be finding lots of ideas. I'm just using a simple idea. Be creative, be inspired. Okay, so that's all about show method. Now, formula must be applied in real life situations. This is a summary. Do, does, that, D. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, why? Keep yourself motivated. A BMW can't take you as far as a diploma. Diploma as in your academic qualifications. Okay, so let's move on to keep inspired. Hold on, another 10 more minutes. Okay, so past year questions. These are descriptive essays. Okay, I've taken. So today I'm looking at question number 2. Imagine you went to a big sports event. Describe what you saw, what happened, and how you felt. All these are talking about senses. They're giving you clues, okay? Okay. So I've underlined the phrases where you have to focus for your design. Let's look at this. So I'm applying this in our do-D formula, okay? So do double intro, sports day. Talk about sports day in general. What is going to happen during a sports day, your marching, your flags, fine. But what is special? Double intro. Second intro, your school's sports day. What is the special thing you enjoy in your school sports day? Okay, maybe you will have a lion dance every year, or a taekwondo show, wushu. That is your highlight of your school sports day. Next, once you're done with your your introduction, you move on to your design based on your underlined word just now. So this is going to be easy because it's coming from your memories. Okay, don't worry about not getting ideas, okay? So once you have design, you're going to put in the details. Of course, how, what, felt and all that, okay? So again, the senses, okay. The sentence in green, it's quite simple. Most students tend to write this. Sarah was happy to win the award. But using the show don't tell method, I've developed the words. Sarah couldn't stop smiling. She was so happy. Her smile was bright like the sun. She excitedly jumped up and down when her name was announced as the athlete of the year. Can you see the connections, your reactions? Because you have described it as you have seen. I'm sure you have seen this in your schools as well. So put it in use, okay? And finally, decide, positive or negative, depending on your choice, okay? You said that's the best sports day, the worst sports day, it's up to you. But you have to do it all in linked. Suddenly you win an award and you say it's the worst sports day, it's not linked. People might think, what's wrong with this pillar, okay? Avoid that, okay? So again, this is the summary. You can spend time reading the bigger picture. I've broken down into smaller aspects of your writing formula, So, when we talk about describing people, events, situations, emotions, you can also use real life samples. I'm very sure you're very familiar with these two artists, Ariana Grande and Jungkook. Okay, currently the hot favorite among you young people out there, okay? So why not? You like them, use them as your inspiration for your descriptions, okay? The eyes, the hair, fine, it's all up to you. Let's say a question is asking about your favorite food, traditional food, the meal you cooked for the first time in your life. Describe. This is from my memory. So whatever you have in your memory, put it into your words, into your essays. Things from your real life situations will be always interesting, okay? Next, these situations, have you come across? Picture 1. The worst day in my life. Describe the worst day in your life. When the monkeys attacked my car. Okay, a new car, and your father bought it for your birthday. Gosh. Okay, so create. Okay. So next we are moving to picture. I love this picture. It's actually about childhood. Your memories. Everybody have their memories of childhood. Okay, so let's say describe your best friends. Choose them. These are actually generated pictures. I'm sure you have these pictures in your minds right now when I say the related topic. Okay, remember, narratives were using series of pictures, but here I'm just looking at one particular picture. Because you're going to be describing, okay? You can by all means use descriptions in your narratives, but parts of it. But it has a bigger storyline to follow compared to descriptive essays, I found this amazing website. Okay, I'm putting it here. Maybe you can watch later if you didn't catch it here. They have compiled all the essays. It's amazing. Do check this out. And some of the essays even has link to the samples. You just click it and read it, get your ideas. You have complained you don't have words. I've given you the solution. You say, I don't know where to put my words. I've given you the mini book. Teacher, I don't know the samples of essays. Fine, check this out. So I'm not leaving any stones unturned for you. You don't stop yourself, okay? Help yourself. By God's grace, you will be helped, okay? So, you're almost at the end of your session. Test yourself. A narrative, a story moves. You remember, series of picture, it moves. It has episodes and happens for a duration. If it's happening non-stop, it's a serial, yeah? We are making movies. Don't go to the serials, okay? So, what is a narrative? Narrative is a story, has a beginning and ending. And what is the formula we need? I story. Okay, so remember I-S-T-O-R-Y. Stick to it as your paragraphs. I hope you'll be saved, okay? So next we are moving on to descriptive essay, which stays, moves, stays, okay? On a certain point because you are fixed to describe that given point or perspective, okay? So usually focus on the chosen topic. So I'm going back again. What is a descriptive? It's actually about describing a person, situation, place or object in detail, okay? So I story versus do, does, that, did. Take your time, go through these formulas. If you have any questions, please leave in your comments, yeah? I will go through your comments, okay? And may you be blessed with good grades, okay? So remember the icon, movie making and your senses. Okay, so hence going back to the title of the presentation for today, stories and senses. Okay, a gentle reminder, dear students, at the end of this session, please kindly fill in the feedback forms given in the link attached. Okay, so we can see who's been watching, what you have been watching, and looking at your responses, we know how much you have gone through. I really hope this has been a helpful session for you, because if you think you're making mistakes, it's a proof that you're actually trying. Okay, so don't be afraid of making mistakes. Learn from your mistakes and show them results. These are some of the quotes I share with my students and myself as well, yeah? And I'm dedicating the last quote to you. It's time to write a new story. You know what's special being SPM 2020 candidate? It has been a whole challenging year for you. So don't give up, okay? You still have time. Being at home, you have all the time to help yourselves. We'll try our best to help you, okay? So at the end of my session, I wish all of you the biggest good luck I can find, and I hope you will stay connected to the other programs coming in, okay? Please leave your comments, fill in your feedback forms as well. A big thank you. Thank you for watching.